Here's my Ridge Runner. Squirrel's not happy I'm here. Okay, so I tried to see if I could get any water out of this creek, and it looks like I probably could if I was desperate enough to maybe scoop it out of there. But definitely all three creeks that's on the way to where I want to camp tonight are all frozen over. So it was kind of a calculated risk that I was taking here by carrying 3 liters with me in hopes that I would find a creek or something. I don't have enough fuel on purpose to melt any snow. I figured if I couldn't find any running creek, then I would camp out at about this 4-mile point here. So it's just up the trail a little bit. So we'll get settled in there, and I gotta think a little bit about whether I want to. Well, I'll tell you what, in an emergency I could come down here. It's less than a mile away. If I was desperate enough, I could come here and get some water before it gets too cold tonight. And for the benefit of those who have not seen my hammock setup in the wintertime, I have a few different tarps. This one is the Dutchware Dyneema tarp. It's a little bit lighter and it does the trick. It's temperature is not too bad out here, so I don't need a lot of coverage tonight, so I brought that with me. But Dutchware, I think it's 11 foot, and I also got a new suspension system that I'm trying out this year. I've had it for about a year, I think, but you know, I like trying things for a long time, so this is good for the winter time because if my hands were cold, for instance, I could do this pretty easily with gloves on and without having to take off my gloves and get my hands cold to put on my tarp. So, and you've seen me pull this snake skin off of my tarp here as I was unfolding it. This is super lightweight. You can see through it. This is nice because when it gets wet, this thing easily evaporates all the water on it. So that's why I got it. All right, inside tour. This is my Ridge Runner. It's a bridge hammock from Warbonnet. Super comfortable for those who are side sleepers and like to move around a lot in a hammock. This really is a very comfortable hammock. A little bit heavier than my Darien Dream hammock, but for a good night's sleep in the wintertime, this is what I like to do. Let's look at the installation on this thing. So this right here is it's a quilt protector. It's a pretty thin, probably like a 10 denier. And then and this just wraps around the bottom of the underquilt. And my underquilt on here is a 10-degree Lynx from Warbonnet. Adds a few degrees warmth in addition to what you already get from the quilt. These have pretty nice little clips on them, and that's how the protector goes on there, and then that's how my quilt goes on there as well. So pretty roomy inside here, I suppose. Good enough for me anyway. You have to be super careful about these bridge hammocks, because, so you can see, they have a nice pointy end on here that when it hits the tarp, it could puncture it. And in fact, I've done that a couple times. You can see where I patched it over here. So what I've done is I've rigged up these ends of my trekking poles, so they just fit on there kind of like that. And then when it comes up against the side, it doesn't puncture it. I know Dutch Ware makes little protective ends on this thing, so I just ordered those. I'm going to see how they work. But for now, it rigs. That's how it's rigged up, and it works really well. So, so there you go. Now, if you want to get a deeper review of this hammock and these tarps that I use, go ahead and I'll put some links down below. You can check that out. And then for my sleeping bag, I actually didn't bring a bag. I just bought my quilt. It's my Stormloft Outdoor Vital Stormloft 15-degree quilt. And that's all I really need tonight. It's supposed to be mild, like in the 20s, maybe upper 20s. Just put some layers on if I get cold. Should be a very mild night for February, late February in Colorado. So just wanted to give you a really quick tour here of the inside of my house for the night. Mi casa. You know, I usually don't see much reason to take camp shoes with me when I'm out hiking, except for days like today, where the trail was really sloppy and my feet are going to get wet. Even though I have my boot gloves on top, there's a couple places by the toe of my shoe that got pretty wet, and that means cold feet in the wintertime, right? So you want to dry out your feet as much as you can, but the only thing is that my shoes will be frozen in the morning if I don't get some kind of most of this moisture out of here. So here I go, do my best to dry my shoes and not burn my shoelaces. I did this left foot and it's a lot better now, so I'm going to do the same thing to my right foot. I got my other socks drying over here, and the socks that I put on, I put on dry socks when I got to camp, but my shoes were still a little bit too wet, and so my toes started getting cold again. So this is what you got to do, right? You have to just kind of figure it out, you know, do with what you got. So this is what I have. I have a nice fire. It's a beautiful night. The sun will be dropping down below that hill probably in about a half hour. Then I'll start getting dinner ready and sit by the fire for a while. It's only about 4 o'clock. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. The weather was perfect. You know, other than the trail being a little sloppy and, you know, slushy and wet, couldn't ask for anything better. As far as the day goes, found a nice camp spot here where there was some dead standing trees, perfect for firewood like this. I went up to my other campsite, the one that I usually go to here, that is pretty close to the high point in segment 3 of the Colorado Trail. But there was a lot of snow up there, and there's not a lot of wood to be had without having to go quite a bit in the woods to go find some. Phew. So I came down here. I've been eyeing this place for quite a while. It's really nice. It fits my hammock just perfect. I saw one other person on the trail today, and she came by here after I broke trail for the last, I would say, half mile or so. About an hour later, she'd come down the trail and said that she had broke trail up to that point the day before. One person, one deer. Perfect ratio. Well, it's spaghetti night at Camp David. This thing leaked a little bit. Brilliant. So, there you go. Alright, let's see if it got done enough before it leaked out some of the hot wood. Sauce is really good. Pasta's not quite cooked enough. Well, I've had worse days, but not all the pasta's not cooked enough. Just a couple of pieces here. Should have brought some bread. I could have toasted it on the fire. Yeah, that would have been nice. Oh well, next time. Slept pretty good last night. You know, these winter camps have longer nights, and so I stay in bed a lot longer than what I do normally at home. And it was comfortable, it was mild. And now it's time for coffee. Water did not freeze last night. I had it upside down in my pack hanging on the tree. Finish my Joe here, then I think when I head back, I'm just gonna make it a 2-night thing, but without the creeks flowing. We don't have a water source. I have some snow here, but I don't like to use this pot to put on a fire because it gets it all yucked up. I do have a pot though that I use for that. I purposely didn't bring it because I figured if the creeks were not flowing, I would stay 1 night. If the creeks were flowing, I would stay 2 nights. And I'm fine with that. I just needed to get out of the house. I've been busy, you know, first month of retirement, and there's a lot of stuff to do around the house, you know, and there still is. I've been trying to get the website back up, putting a ton more content out there for that, and scheduling these videos for the rest of the year. Just a lot of planning going on the last few weeks, but a lot more hiking, a lot more trail time coming up this year. Looking forward to that. I hope you are too. Okay. Oh, I have this One of the breakfast bars that I showed you on one of the last videos is this one with cinnamon in it, cinnamon and honey, and it's really, really good. I could eat this, like I could get fat on these. Yeah. So let's get all this stuff on my feet, throw my pack on and get out of here. Well, thanks for joining me today, folks. It was a good 24 hours out here in the wilderness. Still a beautiful day, not as warm as yesterday, but not as sloppy, the trails. It was nice walking on ice instead of going through slush. So down below in the comments, go tell me about your wilderness winter experiences. Hope it's as nice as this was. Yeah, I know all my friends in the North Country are just laughing at me about what I call winter over here, but it's real for me, all right? All right, as always, go live like you want it. I'll see you on the trail. Hey, this is David on Earth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And go to the website for some deals on gear. All right, see you on the trail.
Very good.